Thumbs up, we're good? All right. Whew. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here. Again, appreciate you guys' patience while we dealt with the medical emergency. We did not want that to be a distraction to any of the cases that are being heard this evening. So with that, we will proceed. So thank you guys and welcome to the Planning Commission hearing for December 4th, 2025. So the first thing that we will do for this regular meeting is to have a roll call, make sure that we have quorum. So we will go down the list. When you hear your name, say aye. So we'll start with Commissioner Cheryl Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Jeanette Hardy.
Aye.
Commissioner Robin Meyer.
Here.
Commissioner Andres Miller.
Aye.
I am Commissioner Dante Philpott, and I think I'm here. Commissioner Carl Valenzuela.
Here.
And Commissioner Venice Walker is not present. So with that, we do have a quorum. So we will move to item number 3 on our agenda. I'll get to that after the minutes one. So we'll move to item number 3, which is approval of the prior meeting's minutes. Mr. Willard, based on the time that the meeting minutes were sent, I feel safe and comfortable saying that the Planning Commission did not have a full opportunity to review, so we'd like to defer to the next meeting.
Yes, sir, that's understandable.
Okay, so can we get a motion to defer the approval of the prior meeting's minutes to the next meeting?
I'll move that we defer approval of the November meeting minutes until our January meeting.
All right, so we have that raised by Commissioner Valenzuela. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, second by Commissioner Robin Meyer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it, so that will be deferred until January's meeting. Before we move forward, what we would like to do, in the interest of moving through the agenda as efficiently as possible, we'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda. So right now on 4A, or 4, we have unfinished business, and then we have 4A, REZ 2025-004. After that, we have 5A, REZ 2025-006, which in the agenda, it says the applicant to request a deferral. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to move agenda item 5A in front of 4A, do that first, and then basically switch it and move through the rest of the agenda as scheduled. And then we'd also like to add an agenda item 6, where we have a discussion for 2026 work session. The time, we want to make sure that we agree on the time. I think the prior meeting, we agreed on the dates, but we need to come to a consensus on the time. And I think those are all of the amendments that we'd like to make to this evening's agenda. So with that, okay. So with that, can we get a motion to amend the meeting's minutes with the edits that I just named?
I move that we amend tonight's agenda by moving item number 5A before item number 4A, adding a new number 6 to discuss the approval of our meeting calendar for next year, and making number 6 number 7.
All right, motion raised by Commissioner Robin Meyer. Do we have a second?
I second.
All right, second from Commissioner Jeanette Hardy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, so the agenda will be amended as noted. So with that, since we have deferred the approval of the meeting minutes, we will now jump to what is currently listed as new business item 5A, REZ 2025-006. Mr. Willard, did you have anything that you wanted to bring up before for the applicant?
No, sir. The applicant is here seeking a deferral of their application, as they are seeking to go back and to amend their application after having a community meeting. They want to incorporate some of those comments and concerns and recommendations, and the applicant is here to kind of to go in a little bit more detail than I.
Okay, applicant, you're more than welcome to step to the podium.
There we go. Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is Kevin Moore. I represent the applicant in this case, and as Mr. Wheeler stated, we held a community meeting on November 19th, so the week before Thanksgiving, and had attendance there. And as a result of that meeting, we received what I think was some very positive feedback about our proposed site plan and the proposed residential development. What we'd like to do is have the opportunity not to rush a new site plan, just to highlight for you what we are going to incorporate in terms of some of the, well, in terms of the comments that we received. We are going to be reducing the overall density, but it's not simply just reducing density to reduce density. What we're going to be doing with that is enlarging lots and lot sizes, enlarging the home product and the types of homes and the home architecture, as well as incorporating a more robust active amenity area instead of simply having open space parks and passive parks. Those are really some of the things that are, from a site plan perspective, we need more time to do that instead of a week, and that certainly doesn't give enough time for us then to recirculate a new site plan out to the community and those that attended. And so with that, we're requesting this deferral to the January meetings so that we have that time, and that gives us time to get it back out to the community and socialize it with those that were interested. I know some of y'all were there for this meeting, so I think that what I'm stating is pretty accurate from a highlight. There were some other things that were more technical, but that's the additional time we need, and we'd appreciate that opportunity because I think we can bring together a project I think that will be well supported once revised.
Okay. Open for discussion from any planning commissioner. So one thing that I will add, because just full disclosure, I was there.
Right.
One issue or one item, I'll say it that way, not an issue, just an item that was brought back to me from the community was because of the location of the proposed development, it sits in a very interesting spot where it borders or it crosses over between District 1 and District 5. District 1 and District 5. That community, basically, it would feed into actually two of the high schools in the area. So one side would feed into Pebblebrook, the other side would feed into South Cobb. Mm-hmm. The community asked, I don't know how much of a impact it would make as far as traffic, because naturally or theoretically, we said that way, you would have two sets of school buses that are coming in and out. So that may be something to consider. I don't know what can or can't be done. It's just something to bare minimum, at least to chew on. That's the only discussion point that I have. I made a promise that I would at least let you know that it was brought to me.
Well, we will contact the school district and see. As you're familiar with, sometimes the school district can be accommodating and sometimes they cannot.
Yeah.
So but we will make the attempt. So thank you.
It is my understanding that they're in the process of redistricting. I'm not sure what that's going to look like right now. I have no clue. But like I said, I at least wanted to make sure that you are aware if there's anything that, from you guys' standpoint for planning, anything that you need to adjust or whatever, you now have that information to go
Thank
back
you.
and maybe potentially do more research. But again, that's my only discussion point. So with that, we'll take a motion to defer REZ 2025-006 to the next meeting, or when they submit updated site plan and information.
So moved.
All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner Carl-Valenzano. Can we have a second?
I second.
I have a second from Commissioner Davis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
Before we record our votes, I think, Chris, if we can be sure that the minutes reflect that this is a deferral at the request of the applicant.
Yeah, I'm making notes right now.
Okay.
Yes.
And I did want to say also that we appreciate the applicant's willingness to do that, to allow time for the public to see what they're going to propose.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now the vote.
All right, so now we'll take the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. REZ 2025-006 has been deferred. All right, so with that,
Thank you, commissioners.
thank you. We look forward to what you bring back as well. So now, we will go to what is currently listed as 4A, unfinished business 4A. So REZ 2025-004, 6851 Queen Mill Road. Mr. Wheeler, if you have anything that you'd like to present, and I'm sure we'll hear from the applicant after that.
Yes, sir. I'm just going to pretty much just kind of go over what we talked about last time. For those who were not in attendance at the last meeting, the applicant has submitted some revised information to the city, and the city had the county to take a look as well too, and provide some updated comments. The applicant was again originally trying to do 7 lots. However, now they are looking to develop at 6 lots. At the last meeting, this is what was presented by the applicant. So again, nothing has changed at this point in time. Again, the applicant still seeks to develop at 6 lots. Again, this is the current site plan which he presented to you at the last meeting. This is still the current site plan he's presented to staff at this point in time. This is the proposed elevations. Previously, we had a different set of elevations. This is the set of elevations the applicant has presented. This is still the same set of elevations the applicant had presented to staff. So I just want to let you know these are the same ones that he presented at the last meeting, and these are the ones that he intends to construct. Because you remember at the October meeting, they were different. We didn't have those, so then he presented these elevations. So then these are the same ones that he presented at the last meeting. It should be in the staff report reflecting that as well too. And just again, just another set of elevations as well. Again, this is the zoning criteria again, which we all use to make our decisions by. This time, staff was able to receive the information regarding the variance and as well as the zoning criteria. Therefore, staff is in the position of recommending approval of this application for the variance and for the rezoning with 12. I'm sorry, not 12. I believe it's 10 zoning conditions. Or 10 zoning stipulations, I should say. And the applicant is here unless you have questions for staff.
Mr. Wheeler, I do have a question, really quick. Can you confirm, there seemed to be some confusion between the presentation, I guess last month's presentation, and the language in staff's recommendation as to what the requested variance on the front setback is?
Yeah, so last time we were understood that again the requested was for the 25, was it for it to be a 25 foot setback? I apologize if it's now for a 21. I saw it in our previous conversations, but everything I found was still for a 25 foot setback, and therefore staff was still willing to adhere to the variance because of the material they provided to us last time. So again, unless the applicant can clarify, right now we are under the impression that it's a 25 foot setback. And the applicant will probably come up and clarify it again.
Right. And
I apologize. Between the different iterations of site plans, it was kind of hard to track it out, so I apologize. But in any event, if it goes from 25 to 20, staff is still in support of that due to the nature of the topography of the site, as the applicant did provide that information to show us why the necessary need for the variance.
Mr. Wheeler, if I could just clarify, the staff is in favor or recommends approval of a variance to a 25-foot setback, but you would also recommend approval to a variance of a 20-foot setback?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
I do have one other question, and that is whether there's a simple answer to the question of whether or not sewer can be accessed on Queen Mill Road for this development.
So I did reach out. I did get a response back later. I think it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday or a day after you had asked request. Cobb County stated that they would address that during the land disturbance process, and so I got a non-committal as far as that reason. Did not know if we wanted to push it further or not, but again, I submitted the same resubmittals that the applicant submitted, and it was pretty much kind of told to me we will address that during the land disturbance process if we get to that point. I can kind of see from your share that's a little bit unsaturated, but that's what the answer that I received. So
Right. So to that end, if and this is a hypothetical situation. So let's say, for example, the applicant gets to the land disturbance, and let's say there's an issue accessing sewer. So much so to the point where the county or sewer and stormwater says, "Hey, this is not going to work as is." I'm assuming that if it cannot be accessed, that poses a major problem, and the county would say, "Hey, we can't approve this project moving any further along."
Typically they would probably give them two options. It basically is from what the notes they have, which what's been provided and what's been submitted back and forth, there's two options. There's Queen Mill and there's Cardell. And so from the county's perspective, and again, I hate that I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I would say that you have two options. Either you can do it that way or you can do it that way if you want your project, the project to be signed off on. I don't know what the feasibility of that is because we're not there at that point. I would think if the planning commission is not comfortable with the lack of specificity for that, is to craft a language that will allow for them to kind of make sure that it actually happens with the preferred choice that you have, instead of kind of leaving it open. You have that right to do that. If you're not comfortable with just leaving it open-ended and then not knowing exactly what's going to happen after it leaves your guys' purview.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit uncomfortable. Simply because as a planning commission, we want to make sure that we get it right. And we're thinking about the community at large. And if we get it wrong, that immediate community may have some issues on their hand.
Yes, sir.
So we want to make sure that we get it right.
Yes, sir.
Or as right as we can get it. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Wheeler before we hear from the applicant? No? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, we'll hear from the applicant. And in all fairness, we'll give the attending audience the opportunity to speak in support of or in opposition to, but we will hear from the applicant. Will the applicant have 10 minutes, or we want to?
Typically, I'm sorry, I'm tongue-tied. We've been operating with 10 minutes unless the board chooses otherwise, but normally we just operate at 10 minutes.
Okay. Do we want to give the applicant 10 minutes and then we'll give the opposition 10 minutes? Okay. So you will have 10 minutes.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'd start that way, just 10 and 10, and then if you guys decide you want to hear more, you can expand it at that time. They can move it. So.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll give the applicant 10 minutes. We'll say it this way: you have 10 minutes. That can be shared, or it can be split with the applicant and 99 other people, or it can be all you, the applicant. However you guys want to divvy it up is totally up to you. But the floor is yours.
Okay. Will you let me know at 5 minutes?
Oh, I got you right here.
Okay.
So you can see. Oh, crap, hold on. Let's restart.
I want to give you a chance as well.
And if you want to come to the podium, please stand here. That way you don't have to keep walking back and forth. You can just stay right here.
Okay. You want to talk?
Okay. Good evening. My name's Greg Scotchy. I'm a civil engineer. I've got 20 plus years of experience. And I think there's two issues to help give you a little bit more comfort. The first was the request on the width of the variance. It's indeed 20 feet. That's the width that I've been looking at on our design, and that would be our request for the variance. And speaking of the design, I've been looking at the two options for the sewer connection, the one to Queen Mill and then to the east side of our lot over to Cardell Circle. I obtained GIS information that was beyond our survey data, so it's an approximation, but relatively good information, and I've designed a sewer run for each option from here to intersecting at the existing sewer there, where there's capacity, no issues there, and physically it works. I made some engineering judgments on the depth of the invert, just based on standard depths, and then designed the run here. And physically the sewer connection can work that way. And then alternatively, our other plan is to run a line again from the center here down this proposed property line and then off to Cardell Circle, which is over here, and making a connection to an existing manhole there in the right-of-way. And also, based upon the county's GIS information on the 2-foot intervals, again, physically, we can have gravity sewer come from this proposed cul-de-sac and down there. So we have two options that I'm 99% certain that physically they'll work. And I've done grading plans on them and provided them to the county, which they've seen. So they also have their guys looking at that. I don't know if that gives you any level of confidence that it can work, but I do humbly request that you take the written response from city staff and county staff and please provide an approval for us this evening. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
One thing I can add is that while Greg was working hard on the design of the two options for the sewer, and he was also working on the grading and the site distance and everything, I'm really impressed with his skill and work. During that time, I was working on the easements because last time we could not even put the Cardell option in place because we have to cross two properties in order to get to Cardell Circle. And technically, physically, Cardell is, the county said right away that they think they indicated kind of that they think it is a better option because the drop to Cardell will allow gravity flow easily from every basement of every house because it is so much lower. But we didn't have those at that time. We didn't have those easements. Well, now we do have them. We have the easement from the homeowner. We are going to cross through their front yard, and also the easement from the church, the Impact Worship Center. So we have those two easements in place, and we are just, in order to record those easements, we have to, and they are already, the easements are on the form that was provided to me by the county, by the Water and Sewer, Cobb County Water and Sewer. But they also said that in order to record it, they also have to approve the design, the engineering design. And the engineering design, they clearly said, we don't have to have the complete design right now. It can be done during the LDP process.
Mr. Wheeler, how much time is left?
5 minutes and 32 seconds.
Okay.
Perfect.
Was there anything else that you wanted to add? You have 5 minutes and 32 seconds
Yeah,
left.
so not a concern that you guys brought up, but part of the work that I did along with creating the grading plans was I have started a conceptual layout for the stormwater and have looked at the impervious surface, the proposed impervious surfaces, and used that data to preliminarily size the stormwater BMP. And it is the Cardell Circle, the stormwater, it works better with the grading, with the sewer going this way and having the detention pond here. It works better with the existing topography that way. So I do have a working schematic plan of not only the sanitary sewer, but also of the stormwater as well. They're kind of hand in glove. They're working together. So just wanted to kind of alleviate any of those, stormwater type concerns as well.
Four minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. So with the remaining 4 minutes and 32 seconds, was there anyone else here in the audience that wanted to speak in support of this application? Again, it can be shared with everyone, or it can be just one. It's up to you guys. We'll leave the floor open for a few seconds. Going once? Going twice? Okay, no one. All right, we'll close that portion. And as we close that portion, I know, Mr. Willen, you can kind of let us know, we did receive letters from Mableton Improvement Coalition in support of this. I don't know if it needs to be read into a record. We have it in our emails, but.
I mean, that's fine. You can do that on your own. You can say you received those letters and so forth. So
Gotcha.
you don't need me to make that announcement.
Gotcha, okay. Okay. So I guess at this time, you guys can have a seat. We'll restart the clock at 10 minutes. If there is anyone here that wants to speak in opposition to this application, you have the opportunity to do so. You have 10 minutes. Again, it can be one person using up all 10 minutes, or it can be shared with everyone here. But with that, please step to the podium.
Good evening. I'm Steve Young with the Mableton Improvement Coalition. I don't know if it matters. I'm in District 4, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the zoning committee.
Step forward to the mic, please.
I'm sorry. Yes, in general, we are supportive of this application. We think the character of the neighborhood is such that the medium density that the applicant is providing is consistent with the character of the area. So, however, there are several stipulations we would like added to the application. The first is we would like a restriction on the number of rentals that could be provided in this neighborhood, restricted to one piece of property. Also, the elevations are not in character for $1 million houses. If you look at houses of this caliber being built in the South Cobb area, for example, along Fontaine Road at the East-West Connector, or Cooper Lake at the East-West Connector, you find that there's at least 25% masonry or brick on the exterior, at least the front. So we would like to see the same in this area as well. Also, for Lot 6, we need a more interesting detail along 3 sides that are exposed to Queen Mill Road due to the positioning of the piece of property, or the house on the piece of property. So we need something a little more robust than just this flat wall with tiny little windows on there. And perhaps a final approval could be reached with a committee composed of community development staff, District 2 council member or his or her appointee, and maybe a member of the MIC board. Also, we'd like the language in the application for the option of paying a fee in lieu of adding a curb and gutter and sidewalk. We'd like that removed. We think if you're going to build a neighborhood, you should have a curb, a gutter, and a sidewalk, not a fee paid so that the development can be done somewhere else. It's very dangerous along this road for people to walk, and without a sidewalk, you're asking for trouble. And in regards to the sewer, I understand that it's not the applicant's fault or the planning commission's fault that Cobb County is being rather diffident about the whole thing. However, we would like language in the final recommendation to either include one or the other, and if neither can be provided, then the zoning reverts back to its original R20 confirmation. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Six minutes and 34 seconds.
Okay. 6 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. That is open to anyone else that wants to or feels compelled to speak in opposition to this particular application of Queen Mill Road. And we'll leave the floor open for a few seconds for you to muster up your courage tonight. All right, going once, going twice. All right, we have no takers, Mr. Wheeler, so we will close public comment section. Planning commissioners, do we have any questions or discussion, maybe of the applicant or from staff?
I do.
Is it a staff or applicant question?
Applicant.
Okay. Applicant, would you mind coming back to the podium, please?
I've been with this journey with you when you held your public meeting at the library, and I agree with everything that this gentleman was saying. I believe the last meeting, we said something about the aesthetics, the exterior of the home, and we didn't see any changes in that. And I wholeheartedly agree that it does need some work. When you're asking for $1 million, $1.5 million, it needs to look different. I'm looking at the home you built and referenced in previous meetings, 2125 Clay Road. I can tell that you've been for more than a year and a half trying to sell it, and you float the price all over the place. I was just wondering, is any feedback on that regards to the aesthetics of it? It looks nice on the inside, but the outside is like that first picture there, and it's just,
Yeah.
it's not very appealing.
Well, I wanted to respond in general to these comments. We talked about the statics and the
Step to the microphone. so the camera can catch you.
materials last time. And right after the meeting last time, we did send a stipulation to Mr. Wheeler, exactly the way, based on your guidelines, on Planning Commission guidelines, the 25% brick or stone in front, and things like that, and all the other stipulations, all the other guidelines that were in place by the Planning Commission. So it is already there. So we did agree to that right away. The other questions that were raised by the gentleman before, they are all addressed already too. Like curb and gutter, it is in place. We never even thought about paying the fee in place, because it was just the county standard language, but we put it in place. So things like that.
So when you say you agreed to the aesthetics, that's not going to be presented here? Because I don't want to say, yeah, let's go ahead and this is what we're going ahead with. I'm sorry, is this not working?
Stay at the podium for me, please.
Because I'm a little short of
Oh,
hearing.
okay.
That's why I'm trying to come a little closer.
I'm sorry, is this not working?
You can pull the mic a little closer.
Yeah, pull it a little bit closer.
All right, I'm practically in my mouth.
There
But
you
all
go.
right. So when you said that you agreed to it, so that means what you're presenting does not update or change? Because I don't want, if I'm looking at this and I'm going to say, yes, I don't want it to be yes to this. I want to, when you say you're agreeing to it, I would like to have seen what you plan to do.
To what particular question? I'm sorry.
The
Cheryl.
aesthetics. The aesthetics of the home, the 20%
Yes.
brick.
So yes, we sent that
Never mind. No, go ahead.
yes. We sent it right away. Right. If we ourselves, we put it in 25%. Yeah. So it the elevations will look somewhat different.
Okay, so what we're saying is, even though you agreed to it, and thank you very much for agreeing to it, we would like to have seen some updated aesthetics.
Oh, in terms of elevation, okay.
Yes, in terms
Well, that, I think we can do that. Based on, absolutely, absolutely. We just did not know if we need to change it at this point of time, because we sent the stipulation where it is all spelled out,
Okay,
what kind of materials are going to be used.
okay,
So we have it in place.
okay.
And if for some reason it is not, you did not see that, we are going to resend it.
Mr. Prop, don't send anything else. No.
Okay, that was-
Yes, to make this easy, is to go ahead and, if you want to include it in the stipulations tonight. Yeah, do not, no rescind anything else, just include it in the stipulations tonight.
I think the issue, Chris, Mr. Wheeler, is that I don't think I saw this document.
And quite honestly, again, I have a bunch of emails, again, with different elevations and different revisions and so forth. So again, it's hard for me to keep track of exactly what's been submitted because of just what's been submitted to me in the past couple of days, weeks, and so forth. So again, to ease everybody's frustration, again, if the planning commission would like to go ahead and include some recommendations as far as what type of materials you want to actually be included on the elevations, staff is in support of that.
Okay.
I would definitely agree to that. Because we're pretty much at the point in time where can't be going back and forth. We have to make a decision, and
Right.
therefore I would say if you all want to agree to say, hey, it has to be 50%, 25%, or whatever combination of brick, stone, or ephes material that you want to include, I would say go ahead and include it into the recommendations for this evening.
Do we have any other questions or discussion points? And I did see that staff laid out, we'll call it a 10-point plan. So I do see that, but go ahead.
Maybe it would help if we tried to summarize what we expect would be in this document that we haven't seen. So we would be, among the things that we were looking for was no fee in lieu for curb, gutter, and sidewalk.
Mike.
No fee in lieu for curb, gutter, and sidewalk. Only one home can be rented at a time, and that has to be included in your covenants. Garages available for parking, not for storage or living space, and that would also be in the covenants. And permits would not be able to be issued for the buildings, for the homes, until the staff had reviewed those covenants and found that to be the case. That there would be at least 2 architectural elements on the side and back of the house on Lot 6. I think we're looking for 25% brick and stone, brick or stone on the fronts of the homes. I still have fingers left. Is there anything else that is?
So I think one of the points that we mentioned or that we discussed was the detention pond. To Commissioner Davis's point, if you have homes that are $1 million and 1.5, I think I asked a question about whether it was going to be fenced in using, what is it? What's the type of fence? Gosh, it just left my head.
Wrought iron,
Not wrought iron, but what's the other one? Goodness gracious.
chain link.
Yeah, chain link fence as opposed to, or we should say a wood fence as opposed to a chain link. Again, this is we'll just call it an upscale neighborhood. So I think aesthetically it should coincide with that, and it's not atypical to see the detention pond fenced in with a wood fence as opposed to a chain link. I've seen it it's a community right off of Concord Road, right after the covered bridge or before, depending on which way you're coming from. And the homes are less than $1 million, and their detention pond is fenced off with a wood fence. So I think that would be for homes that you're selling for between 1 and 1.5. I think that would be suitable as opposed to a chain link fence. If we want to add that to the
Yes, please.
list of notes. I think there was some language in the I think it's for the easement for the site plan, where it's not in perpetuity. We want to make sure that someone can't come. I think it would be lot 6, whichever one is closest. I have to go back to the site plan. Can you, Mr. Wheeler, can you go back to the site plan? Yeah, so
Mr. Chairman, you're talking about the easement to create sufficient site distance?
yes.
I think that easement
It's to the north, it's not shown on this, so it would be going up or north on Queen Mill, so technically lot 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're looking right or uphill on Queen Mill.
So perhaps what we're looking for is language that requires that easement with the property owner at 6835 Queen Mill Road be in perpetuity.
Right. So that way they can't put something there and then we're back at square one, where it's
Right.
like, okay, because I think at that point it becomes a civil issue, and, we're just trying to make sure, because we had this discussion last time about the dangers that winding road poses.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we're covering all bases to protect people, pedestrians especially, and car driver, people that are operating vehicles, to give them the best chance at safety, so.
And that's fine, because we already have that. We already have that in the language of the easement.
Okay.
That it's going to be perpetual.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No? Okay. All right, well, I guess we are ready to raise a motion for a recommendation. Do we want to raise a motion to approve or deny or approve with stipulations, or recommend denial? Okay, so who wants to raise the motion to approve with the list or dictionary of stipulations? The list of well, yes, we're gonna voluntold you, Robin. Now we're gonna do that because you.
Well, I don't think I'm the only one with a list. Carl?
You ready?
I can't say that I was taking notes with
Okay,
the
all right.
things you were counting on your fingers. I've got the printout of the stipulations recommended by staff, which all seem to be in the direction we were going, but we've
Okay.
definitely added a few.
Well, I'll give it a whirl if that's all right.
Let's go.
Okay, so I move that we recommend approval of REZ 2025-004 at 6851 Queen Mill Road from R20 to R15 for the development of 6 homes, subject to the staff recommendations included in the staff analysis. And in addition, that the homes developed in this neighborhood must have 25% brick or stone on the front. The home on Lot 6 must have 2 architectural elements on the side and rear of that home. The garages, the HOA covenants must include a requirement that the garages remain available for parking and not used as storage or living space. The HOA covenants must contain a requirement that only one home can be rented at any given time. No building permits will be issued until the staff is able to review those covenants for the garage and rental restrictions. The easement between this applicant and the property owner at 6835 Queen Mill Road for site distance improvements must be in perpetuity. staff must review that easement for that condition prior to the land disturbance permit being issued, that there be no option for a fee in lieu of curb, gutter, and sidewalk, and that the detention pond be fenced with a solid wood fence. If development standards require a metal fence, then that metal fence should be to the interior so that the wooden fencing is visible to folks outside the detention pond. That would be my motion.
Mr. Wheeler?
I would clarify how tall you want the wooden fence to be.
Mr. Chairman, it's your fence.
I think 6 foot should be sufficient, or it should be sufficient to cover, because I'm not sure of the topography right there, but enough to cover.
Yeah, I was just saying, make sure, because, you might get a 3-foot fence.
Okay.
Say it again?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'll amend that last condition to make it a 6-foot wooden fence, privacy fence.
All right, and point of discussion, I'd like to make one amendment to your additional amendments for the language to, an additional stipulation to have language to basically point out that the zoning revert back to R20 in the event that stormwater and sewer and other easements cannot be met, then it reverts back to R20.
Okay? And should approval not be obtained for sewer connection or for handling stormwater from Cobb County, then the zoning on this parcel will revert back to R20.
All right, so we have a motion to approve with a list of stipulations from Commissioner Robin Meyer. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second from Commissioner Jeanette Hardy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. No nays, the ayes have it. So REZ 2025-004 has been recommended for approval to go before City Council at the next meeting. Thank you, applicant, for this journey, for this ride. We're not done, but thank you for all the work that you've done, and there's another step on the way, so thank you. So with that,
If I
I'm sorry,
could
go
just say
ahead.
one thing. I too want to thank you very much for all the work you've done on this project. And please understand, and for everybody here, please understand that many of the things that we're asking of this applicant are not specific to Mr. Prop or his team, but rather these conditions will run with the property. If Mr. Prop were to win the Mega Million lottery and decide to relocate to Hawaii and sell this property, then whoever buys it is also bound by these stipulations. And so that's very important. It's important to the future of our community that we craft these stipulations as carefully as we can, and we get them on the record, on the legal record. So when we have
Sir, you can't talk
This
during the meeting.
is not for discussion, sir.
when we go into these great and grievous details, it's never, ever, ever personal. It's just to make sure that we're doing the best job we can for our community in the future. So we appreciate so much that you've worked with us.
Thank you.
Also, I want to make a point as well, too. This application and the other application will be going to the city council on December 10th because it is a short week and there's only one regularly scheduled city council meeting. So this application and the other application that follows it will be at the December 10th city council meeting. So that will be next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And I second everything that Commissioner Meyer just said. So with that, we'll move on to the next or new business, REZ 2025-005, 4470 Floyd Road. Is the applicant here? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we know that you're here. So Mr. Wheeler, you please start with your presentation, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Again, this applicant is before you this evening is Mr. Theo Bullard. He is seeking to rezone a residential property from R20 to residential duplex. Subject property is located at 4470 Floyd Road Drive. I apologize. There we go. Before you is an aerial photo of the subject property. Again, the property is zone R20. This is just future land use map of the subject property. The property, again, has a future land use designation of low density. But however, it is surrounded by a neighborhood activity center, medium density located to the west of it, and then low density located to the east and southern portion of the property. This is just an aerial map of the subject property. Again, so there's the existing subdivision neighborhood located to the west of it, a townhome subdivision located north of the subject property, as well as a senior apartment complex located northeast of the subject property, and then single-family homes located east and to the south of the subject property. This is the proposed site plan of the applicant is intended to develop. Again, this is a duplex. The applicant is intended to build on the site. This is just, again, just a standard layout that the applicant is intending to develop for. These are the proposed elevation the applicant is provided for you for this evening. Again, with all our applications, staff has provided a zoning analysis of the subject property. Staff normally would mention the comprehensive plan of being a low density. However, staff believe that because the applicant is located in a transitional area where there is medium density neighborhood activity center, the applicant's request is seemingly keeping inconsistent with the ever changing of the neighborhood. So therefore, staff is recommending approval of this applicant with 9 conditions. Do you have any questions for staff?
So, okay, well, this, this may seem like a weird question. I'm just gonna ask it anyway. What I could not, I don't think I saw on there was, I saw the walk path, like the walk path to the front door, but what I didn't see is, okay, so that's the driveway.
Yes.
And so the garage door, I mean, the garage or garages will be basically right next to each other, and essentially the duplex is split down the middle right there.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to see. I saw that and I'm like, well,
It threw you off, huh?
yeah, I was like, okay, that's a walkway and then it's wide. I was like, so I wasn't sure if it was that or if it was going around the side or what I was looking at. If it was a rear entry, I don't know. Okay.
The applicant can kind of explain a little bit more of what his vision is and so forth as well,
Okay.
too.
So, so one of the stipulation, I think it was number 9, says short-term rentals shall be prohibited unless expressly permitted under a future ordinance.
Yeah, so I told you we submitted that earlier. We removed that because
You are correct.
we wanted to. It was a question as far as the enforcement of it and so forth. And I know I talked to you guys previously of it. However, wanted to clarify as far as when I'm talking to leadership about as far as including that moving forward. That's the only reason why I took it out right now.
Gotcha.
Therefore, I didn't want to overstep because again I wanted to get clarification on how would we want to include it or not include that moving forward with rezoning applications such as this.
I guess the question I have is, we hear short-term rental and it kind of gets used as a general term or general catch-all. When I hear short-term rental, I'm thinking Airbnb, VRBO.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also heard people refer to short-term rentals as like if you're renting out. If you have a home that you're renting, some people will classify a 6-month lease as a short-term rental, and so that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, and so again, that's the reason why I kind of took it out because again, we are still trying to figure out just language and how we would like, how the city would like to move forward with that type of business and so forth. Because currently, right now, short-term rentals are allowed in the city of Mableton. However, again, wanted to kind of I didn't know exactly if the planning commission wanted. Well, I'm sorry. Let me step back. I assumed that you guys would have like to have that type of condition. However, not knowing, so I decided to take it out and let you guys have a discussion instead of assuming that you wanted that in there, as well as trying to figure out how would we try to enforce that and some other mechanisms and so forth. And because the condition, and the condition was kind of general, and so just to take it out completely, where other rental restrictions you had put in, they were very specific. So that's why I want to take that out and allow a discussion more than just assume something.
Gotcha. And then I didn't see anything about the garage being used as a living space. And if I missed it, let me know.
No. I mean, again, that would be something that we would review during the building permit phase anyhow. And so again, that would start getting into more of the code enforcement too as well, as far as like being transformed into a rental space. So because he still has to submit his building permit to us, and so for it to be converted into a rental space, staff would have to review building and so forth before we sign off on it. If he does it without our knowledge, then that's more of a code enforcement issue anyhow. So we're still kind of, doing apples to oranges. If you kind of understand what I'm saying, like we can put it down, but then if he decides to ignore it anyhow, it's more of a code enforcement issue anyway. So not trying to do just a futile exercise.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other questions from any other planning commissioners for staff? No? Okay. Then we can move into public comment section. We'll start with anyone that wants to speak in support of, and we can, I'm sorry.
We need to allow him to come to present. Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead. So yes, the applicant, sir, you can definitely.
It's just simple. It's really just some PDF format, just showing some of the things about it. Okay, so I got 10 minutes. I probably won't use all the 10 minutes. Just explain who I am and let you know what's going on.
Excuse me, but would you introduce yourself to us?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I sure will.
Okay.
All right, my name is Theodore Bullard. I've been a part of the Mableton community for over 15 years. I used to be the director of the Boys and Girls Club right down here on Floyd and Fontaine Road back in 2009 to 2012. Coached basketball at Whitfield Academy. My son and my nephew play football over at South Cobb, so I didn't coach basketball from Floyd Elementary. I actually own a home right there on Hibiscus Way, literally right behind that lot. So I bought that lot of land in May of 2022. We was thinking about building our house right outside of the subdivision that we're in, so we wouldn't have a HOA and people telling us what to do, but still be in the same community. But as time went along, we kind of changed plans. Started saying that may be a good idea to build a duplex because of the surrounding community, and be able to let my mom and my wife's aunt, who was like my mother-in-law, live into the duplex there. So we went through a few iterations of what we would like to do with it, and kind of settled on trying to get it rezoned to be able to build a duplex right there. I have built quite a few homes in my time, but I'm a professor by trade. I teach at Kennesaw State University. This is my 11th year at KSU. But just been a part of the community for a long time, and I think it makes sense in this environment because literally right across the street from me, the house that's on Wisteria Way is a duplex. I know it says zone R20, but that's a duplex right across from me on Wisteria Way. There's two duplexes right there. Then you have the senior living community that's right up on the left corner. Then you have townhomes right to the left, and the houses behind you, the house that I own back there in that area is zone RA5. And I just think it's a great opportunity to be able to put a nice home there that can fit in with the architecture that's already in the community.
And Mr. Bullard, I just want to jump in real quick. This is just a matter of housekeeping. Someone in a white Ford SUV is blocking someone from leaving. If you could let him out. Thank you. Sorry about that.
I told him to park there.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So, I mean, we can go through these slides, but I kind of just wanted to hear you guys' feedback because I'm pretty familiar with the community and the neighborhood. I wanted to fit into the same character that we have there. The three homes behind here, that's Stacy, Rob, and his wife, they said that before we bought the land, I keep the land maintained and maintenance already now, but it shrub got real high and the trees fell down and it flooded my neighbor's backyard. So I already have plans in place to try and handle that irrigation process to make sure we don't have any issues with flooding the neighbor's backyard after the trees and stuff like that. But I've been cutting the grass for 3 years now and I'm just ready to do something with it and build something nice right there.
I'm not opposed to you going through your slides. You took the time to put them together. The least we could
Okay.
do is look at them.
All right, cool. Now, well, as you know, I'm a professor by trade. I don't want to waste all my time, but so just looking at us being able, I would probably at first I was saying, well, I'll live in one side and my mother can live in the other side. I don't know exactly what we're going to do in the end, but I won't be doing short-term rental. But I don't want the restriction of if you had the opportunity to be able to rent the house for 6 months. I didn't want that to be an issue as well. But I think it's important that we get some kind of affordable housing in Mableton anyway, because I've been down here since a long time, and the costs have changed a lot. And I don't know when we're going to do something to address that, but you can't find anything down here for less than $2,000. And I coach basketball. You coach basketball with me at the school. These kids' family can't afford to be paying $2,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. But something got to be done, and if it's something that I can do, I want to do it. But anyway, I know you was questioning about this. These photos, so this is going to be a 2-car garage, and grants can't be that. I had to use AI to get something because y'all already spending all my money. I got full plans already, not knowing if y'all going to agree to it. So when you paying thousands of dollars to get plans and not knowing if you guys going to agree, it's kind of a waste of money. So I had to use AI to get this stuff taken care of. So the driveways, literally, you can't drive across grass to get there, so you're going to have 2 driveways all the way down. I did notice that the staff made new recommendations saying it couldn't be a parking pad there, but I already talked to them about it. This isn't considered a parking pad. I was just a little confused on what they were saying on not having a parking pad in the front driveway as well. But the reason I wanted a duplex like this is because duplexes in the neighborhood, they have shared walls. And if at this home here, if the only shared wall is the garage wall, you can have 2 separate families living there and not really have to have problems with hearing each other because I lived in a townhouse before, and you don't want your kids' room being next to somebody else's adult room. But with that being said, I'll save the rest of my time for rebuttal or anything if somebody is opposing. But I did get the staff recommendation as well as the Mableton Improvement Coalition recommended that they approve. I don't know how you word that, but they agree with it being changed as well. So that's all I really wanted to share and might discuss here. I do have people in the community here as well. I'm pretty sure they live in the neighborhoods around that can probably say what they would like to see there. I had a meeting at the church right on the corner on Monday, and a few people showed up, but a pretty good turnout. And I know most of the people because my kids play in the neighborhood and mess up people's basketball goals and stuff. So I was pretty familiar with everybody, and they understand what they want to see over there. They just don't want something that's going to mess up the community. And I think what I'm trying to do would be nice.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
How much time do we have left, Mr. Wheeler?
4 minutes and 12 seconds.
4 minutes and 12 seconds. All right. So the remaining 4 minutes and 12 seconds can be used for anyone that wants to speak in support of this application. It can be one person. It could be everybody. But whoever wants to speak in support of this application, please step to the podium.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Joseph Perry. I've been in the community now for about 5 years because of Mr. Bullitt. Realtor plus a tech sales guy. Sold him his first townhome and his house that he's living in now that's in Wisteria Way. Before he purchased, he is right, that piece of land, the debris was super high. So we would ride our bikes, go to Silver Comet, and when you pass by there, you had to watch out to see people who had dogs that were loose get chased. Now that it's cut, you don't have to worry about that. So the safety part is there, the visibility is there, that he's kept it up for the last 3 years. You all just had someone up building $1 million homes. In the event that you can't or don't allow like a duplex and you do a single family home, then that gets rid of the, I guess, affordable living that he's trying to do, right? If you build a single family home and you have to sell it off to someone, a single family home there with that size lot is probably gonna cost $600,000, $700,000, close to $800,000. But if you do a duplex, then we're able to go ahead and, if he decides to rent it out and not live in there, he can support the families that he's been able to coach for the years, over the last 15 years that he's been there. So the $1,200 to $1,500 rental, if it goes that way, I believe is a lot better than building a single family home that's gonna cost $700,000.
Thank you. We have 2 minutes and 58 seconds left.
Good evening, everyone. I am Danielle Baker. I am also a realtor in the area with Berkshire Hathaway. I'm a resident at Concord Trails. I've been so for the last 7 years. And so I also speak in support of the development of the project. I believe it's in alignment with the current aesthetics of the community. Dr. Bullard has also shared with me the plans, and I've had the opportunity to see those renderings, and they are very aesthetically pleasing, and I believe that it would be a great addition to our community. Also in support of the short-term rental, when I think about short-term rentals, there are traveling nurses that are often in need of housing, particularly in this part of West Cobb. And so I believe that this would also be an option for them to be able to utilize should the council support the development. So thank you.
Thank you. 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes remaining. Anyone else that wants to speak in support of this application, please make your way to the podium. Anyone that wants to speak in support of this application? Okay, so going once, going twice. All right, we will close out that portion. Mr. Wheeler, would you mind resetting it to 10 minutes? And we will allow 10 minutes for anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this application. Please make your way to the podium.
Yes, my name's Steve Young. I'm with the Mableton Improvement Coalition, and we are, again, generally supportive of this application. We think the addition of this duplex would be perfectly consistent with the area and have no problems. And we echo staff's comments in toto, and we want to ensure that they end up in the final recommendation. And we would also like to see the language concerning garages being only used for garage parking and incidental storage be added into the language. Even if it becomes a difficulty in enforcement, very frequently neighbors who have problems when things develop later on down the road, that becomes a tool in their excuse me, their arsenal to correct situations. I'm not saying Mr. Bullard's going to create any problems, but in general, this is what we like to see and it just avoids a lot of legal hassles down the road if it's already in the language. So we prefer it if that sort of language is included in the final recommendation. But apart from that, we are fully supportive of the application. Thank you.
How much time is that? Is that 8?
8 minutes and 40 seconds.
8 minutes, 40 seconds. Anyone else that wants to speak in opposition to this application, please step to the podium.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is LaTanya Milton, and I live in Concord Trails. And I'm here on behalf of some of my neighbors from Concord Trails, where we actually signed a petition in reference to this. And I don't know if you guys want me to read it or pass it around to you guys.
You have 8 minutes. You can...
Okay. It say, we, the undersigned concerned residents of Concord Trail subdivision, respectfully submit this petition to oppose the rezoning or request of RZ 2025-005, which seeks to rezone property at 4470 Floyd Road. The purpose of constructing the duplex directly adjacent to our established neighborhood. Concord Trails is a long-standing community intentionally developed and zoned for single-family residential homes. The zoning designation maintains the integrity, character, and design consistency of the subdivision. The proposed duplex development represents a significant departure from the established land use pattern that current residents relied upon when choosing to invest in this community. Our primary concerns include incompatibility with existing zoning character, which is the proposed duplex introduces a multifamily housing structure into an area historically intentionally zoned for single-family use, disrupting its architectural cohesiveness and intended land use plan or subdivision. The next thing is the negative impact on our property values. A departure from established zoning standards may adversely affect nearby property values by altering the predictable development patterns and residence for potential buyers. Increased traffic and safety concerns. Additional density on roadway not designed for multifamily use may contribute to congestion, which is really, really bad already, create turning site hazards, and increase pedestrian safety risks for families and children in the community. The strain on the infrastructure and community resources. Higher density housing may place added strain on local utilities, stormwater systems, community services were planned for single-family usage levels. And lastly, precedent for future incompatible development. Rezoning this parcel could set a precedent for further high-density requests, accelerating change inconsistent with the residential Concord Trails Community Center. And those are our reasons above for the undesigned residents respectfully request the rezoning of the RZ 2025-05 be denied to preserve the stability, safety, and intended land use character for the neighborhood. And then I have all of our signatures here. You want? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We have 6 minutes, 15 seconds left. 6 minutes, 15 seconds left for anyone else that would like to speak in opposition to this application. All right, going once, going twice. All right, we will close public comments portion for this application. Yes, Mr. Wheeler?
The applicant does have 2 minutes left for rebuttal.
Yes, if you'd like to address any concerns, please.
I'd like to address all of the concerns that's been stated. First thing is there isn't zoning compatibility in this area. If you look at the houses in that space, the homes directly behind are zone RA5. The community that she live in are single-family townhomes. Those townhomes are zone RM8, multifamily RM8 homes. And then the home right to my right is zone R20. Directly across from me is zone R20, which is a duplex as well that's been grandfathered in as a duplex. So there's 2 duplexes on Wisteria Way, and that entire community is townhome communities that are being sold as single family. And a duplex with 2 families would not increase the amount of traffic as what Meritage Home is doing all over this community. They're taking all of the land and building 1 million houses everywhere, and you got one lot of land that you want to build a duplex on, and now we have an issue. Also, with the garage, I don't have an issue with them saying you can't make it living space, but you're going to tell someone in their own home that they can't turn their garage into a workout room if they wanted to work out in the garage and park on one side. So I just don't want it to be too much overreaching. I understand that there is some kind of control that has to be put in place, but there's a lot of overreaching when you come to that aspect. Yes, these communities, I live in that same community, and I don't know when those homes were built. I think they were built around in 2015, Concord Trail, but my home is in Concord Trace, and his is in Willow Crest. But we moved in 2019 when they built those, in 2018, 2019. But when you're talking about the traffic and increasing the cars in that area, it has nothing to do with a duplex home on a side street versus 110 new townhomes on Floyd Road directly across the street from it. But I just wanted to make sure we understand that the zoning compatibility, you can't find anything that's compatible in that area. So you can't say what you want it to be, because you have RA5, you have R8, you have R20, then you have a senior living community. So in that exact same space, there is none of that. There's no compatibility in that area.
Thank you, sir. Right on time. All right, so with that, we'll close public comment section. Do planning commissioners, do we have, we'll leave it open or open it up for discussion, questions, anything that we may want to ask the applicant and or staff. So floor is open for anyone. Go ahead.
I have a question for the staff. Does the city of Mableton have a short-term rental ordinance?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay.
I do have a question for the applicant, if he could come back up to the mic.
All right, Paul, I'm sorry, I apologize. Apparently, we do have one, but it's located in the business license section. So okay, yeah, we want to clear.
In that case, what is the time?
I would have to look it up because again, I really thought you meant just from a zoning standpoint, but I'm about to look it up and see what's defined as short-term rental and so forth.
I think that would be very helpful for us to understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get a clarification or statement for the record. One of the things that the Cobb County DOT recommendations, which are part of the staff's recommendations that would be part of any approval of the rezoning, is to donate right-of-way on the west side of Floyd Drive to a minimum of 25 feet from the roadway center line. Is that something you're agreeable to?
That's because it's the corner lot. That's normal. in
Okay.
most,
I just wanted to make sure that was on the record. Thank you.
I thought, I was like, hold on, I'm not doing that. One thing that I wasn't sure of, and I took a look at the designs that you provided. Can you go back to where we're showing the front elevation with the cars in the garage?
That's not the correct.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to understand is the materials that were being used, and the reason I'm asking is because I had the opportunity to kind of go back off Floyd Drive and look at the townhouse community that was there. Of course, I saw the senior community that's there. There's also, and I'm terrible with directions, but there is a single-family home community.
That's where my house is at.
Okay.
Concord Trace. There's 25 homes there.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking is because the materials that are being used. One thing that I will say that I'm concerned about is making sure that from an aesthetic standpoint, does this or will this blend in? So like the townhouse community, I think a lot of them, I think it was full side brick. Some of them were like 50%. I think a few of them were like maybe 25. In that single family home community, I think I want to say 25% brick, I think.
Cementitious lap side, and then we have brick columns at the front of my house.
Okay.
So it isn't brick, it's cementitious lap side. And
Okay, so what about for
the house direct, and then
this proposed this duplex? What
this
materials?
duplex here, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe board and batting with siding, with some brick accents. So I didn't have a particular percentage that it was going, because, like I said before, there isn't any compatibility, because directly across from me is the duplex that's built out of red brick. And then the house to my right is built with wood siding. The three houses behind me that are on lots that are 0.17 acre, and mine is 0.15, and I can't get it subdivided so I can build multiple houses. But the houses directly behind me are in my community, and those are cementitious lap siding.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking is because I'm thinking about aesthetic compatibility. What I would default to is the communities that were built most recently, and the materials or aesthetic that's used there, because I think you mentioned
that would be my community.
An older duplex it was grandfathered in,
Yes.
so it's like, well, that was a long time ago. So I'm thinking about, okay, what was most recently built, and how can we keep it aesthetically compatible and flowing with that?
Yeah, I would plan to have it similar to that, but that would be my community. My homes, I think the last home was bought in my community in 2019, July the 2nd, 2019. The townhomes were built before, but the last house sold in my community was July the 2nd, 2019, the new builds. And they're using, I hate to say it, like I built a couple of custom homes down in East Lake, down in Oakland City, and after we got into this, I realized they're only using build-a-grade. You're allowing these people to do build-a-grade siding all over. Meritage Home don't do anything custom if you're talking about having something that's compatible with the community. So, but I would definitely have something board and batten or cementitious siding with a little bit of a brick accent around with the columns or something at the front of the home. But the things that's being asked for are not currently in the community. That's all I was saying.
Gotcha. Okay. Go ahead.
I have a question. I think one of the images that we've seen showed the garages with one where it looked like they were a one-car garage because the size of the garage door was about the same as the size of the car. But the plans that you've shared, it's a two-car garage.
That's
So I just
AI.
wanted to confirm that
Yeah,
it's.
that's AI. I wasn't gonna pay another $1,000.
I'm not,
to feed you.
okay, I just need
So-
you to tell me.
No, I got you right here. It's exactly. I got the full set of plans. You can see everything from the HVAC plans to the electrical plans. Everything is paid for. It's all in here, and I submitted everything to everybody. So you can go through every page you want. It's a two-car garage for both sides.
That's what I've wanted,
Yes, ma'am.
that's just what I want to talk about.
No problem.
Okay, and so we all agree that AI gave you those little brick things.
Yes, ma'am. Because AI didn't give me no concrete. How you gonna drive?
Right. So could you tell us a little bit about how you, it would, the driveway would be the width that it is up against the house, and it would just come straight out to the street?
Straight out to Floyd Drive. So Floyd Drive is facing this direction, and Wisteria is going out. So that's the corner of Wisteria and Floyd. So the home will be facing Floyd Drive, which now has just been a big empty lot. We almost turned it into a football practice field for my kids a while ago. Kids used to just go over there and play, but people take their dogs over there and let them mess in it. So I ain't let them play in it too much. But they'll just be facing Floyd Drive, just like the other driveways on that particular street.
Okay. And the staff recommendations had some suggestions, had some requirements for landscaping.
Yes.
In the rear of the property that you're going to build. Have you given any thought to landscaping the remainder of the property?
Yeah, I gave thought to it. You're gonna need some green space and put little flowers around the front, but you're gonna need that space around the side. It's enough space on both sides of the home and in the front for each side to have play area for kids in the front. And I'm sorry, this is my soapbox. I hate that we don't do nothing for kids no more now. If I wanted to make a dog park, everybody be okay. But kids need space to play too. Like it would be. So I want to be able to keep some space for kids to be able to play in the yard as well.
Would you?
But the trees in the back, the recommendation they made, it was like a 10-foot strip that they was talking about already. That makes sense.
Okay.
But I also want to address my neighbors' needs to be able to make sure that there's some kind of, because there's a drainage issue over there that the city or the county never really addressed. And so when it rains in that area, it's messing up my neighbors over there. So I talked to Stacy, who home is right down the corner, and Jack and his wife right there in the house in the middle. And we can easily address those things.
Had you given any thought to trees, planting trees?
Not any major thought to it. Just what they asked me to do, I'm probably going to do.
I think you're in an area of our community that is very pedestrian oriented because the trail is so close. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that makes a nice walk is having some trees along those
There's
pathways.
no trees there now, though.
I know there are no trees there. I'm suggesting that I'm thinking about whether or not a condition asking you to plant some trees. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I don't want y'all to ask me to do nothing that y'all ain't already did. I understand exactly what you're saying, but there's enough trees on the walking trail right up there. And if we do decide to plant some trees, I think it'll be great. I love trees. I love the greenery. But I don't think it's fair to try to require things that haven't been there at all, and then we just go put them in there because we feel like we want to see some trees on somebody else's property.
Well, I appreciate your perspective, but
I understand.
But 10 years ago, there were trees on that property before the house was torn down and it became overgrown.
Yeah, all of that was trees 10 years ago when I was 15 years ago, and the whole area was trees.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, discussion from any other planning commissioners? Take that as a no. So we are ready to make a recommendation? Yes, we're ready to make a recommendation? Okay. All right, so do we want to entertain a motion? You want to entertain a motion to approve with stipulations, or do we want to entertain a motion to entertain a motion to deny? Approve with stipulations, okay. So can I get a motion to approve with stipulations, and if there are any additional outside of staff comments, let's enumerate those so they go into record. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of case REZ 2025-005 for the rezoning. Get my agenda back out. Rezoning from R20 to RD for the development of a duplex project with the updated, I guess we'll call it, staff recommendations that we received that is numbers 1 through 9. And then a edit of the one Cobb County DOT recommendation to remove the language in lieu, a fee in lieu of for sidewalk, curb, and gutter on the street. And that is my motion.
Any discussion?
I'll second it for the purpose of discussion.
Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, before you do that, so we have a motion that was raised by Commissioner Carl Valenzano. Do we have a second?
I'll second it for the purposes of discussion.
Okay, second from Commissioner Robert Meyer with discussion.
So I would like us to discuss the short-term rental issue. We found online that the city ordinance defines a short-term rental as 30 days or less.
Yeah, it's in the regulatory fees. I'm sorry. When you say ordinance, I'm strictly thinking zoning and so forth. So to expand, to even expand it a little bit further, so short-term rentals are allowed anywhere within the city according to the regulatory fee section. So there isn't any prescribed zoning stipulations when it comes to short-term rentals. And so according to our current regulatory zoning ordinance and nothing in our zoning ordinance related to that.
So I guess the question is, do we feel like this particular property presents any issues related to short-term rentals that are different from other properties related to short-term rentals? Because Chris, I'm sorry to make you come back again.
No,
it's my understanding with the ordinance that the city has, that in order to operate a short-term rental, to rent a property for less than 30 days, you have to apply for a license and meet certain standards. And if you are found to be violating those standards, then the license can be revoked.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there are protections in place for communities.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yep. And
So-
again, I apologize for misspeaking earlier too.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
So, because it was an issue that we have discussed, I just wanted to see where we are as to whether we think that's a condition that should or should not be added to this.
I would approve that, or I would recommend that be a condition, simply because of the community that this duplex would sit in, or let's just say sit in the middle of, very heavy residential, and without that specific language, it could be quote unquote exploited. Not saying that it would be or will be, but it could be. And so like I think about my own neighborhood where we're saying, hey, no, even when the Super Bowl was here and now you have World Cup coming next year, not saying that duplex will be available for World Cup, but just thinking about like, hey, we don't want to have the quote unquote transient, short-term rentals and transiency. So I think relatively for this community, especially for the location and where it is, I think it may be better suited to have that condition or that stipulation in there to limit that, if that makes sense.
But you're suggesting a stipulation specific to this property, but if I understand Mr. Wheeler correctly, there's an ordinance that covers every house in the city, correct?
Yeah, so the regulatory fees says any residential home can operate as a short-term rental. Yeah, and so again, I just want to be clear, because Chapter 7 is the regulatory fees. Right now, there's no zoning, we don't have any in my past history where when it comes to short-term rentals, usually a zoning ordinance kind of spells out what the zoning district is allowed. At this point in time, we do not have that. So
Gotcha.
you could do a short-term rental with anywhere in the city.
Gotcha.
With a permit.
With a permit, yes.
If it's, and if it's not prohibited by a zoning stipulation. I mean, the zoning stipulation would override,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, correct. Yeah.
So can we legally put a stipulation like that on there if the, I mean, you just said that it covers every, you know, that there's the short term.
Yes, because we,
covers everything, so.
I mean, it is
does that
a
mean that we
use.
can't- yeah,
I'm
so-
sorry.
So we can't really add any stipulation like we were just discussing, right?
No, because it is a use, and because we require a business license, it is one of those things you can, like how you deny you can't do a gas station here and you can do a commercial project, but you don't want to have a gas station at this location. That's a use that you do not want allowed at that location. So yes, you could put that stipulation on there because again, because we do regulate as far as require a business license, that would be something that when we get the application in for review, we will always check the zoning of it and so forth, and then we will check to see if there's stipulations, as the Commissioner Myers had just alluded to. We will review and says, oh, well, there's a stipulation that says short-term rentals is not allowed, so we were denied that business license from the zoning standpoint of review, says stipulation is not allowed. The applicant would then have an opportunity to do a other zoning agenda item to ask for that item to be amended to allow for that to happen, if the city council went to approve this rezoning. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are avenues to be able to do it, and for the applicant to get seek approval around it as well.
Gotcha.
Too.
Okay.
Sorry, sir, it's not open for
Sound like
discussion.
that was just,
Okay.
yeah.
Mr., so I would agree with the chairman that I think this is a situation in which, even though it's not the applicant's present intention, as he's expressed it to us today, these stipulations run with the property, and so I would support the chairman's issue on this.
Yeah, I would definitely want to amend the stipulations to include that language.
Then I would, do I make a motion to amend the motion?
Well, that's what we're doing now, is amending
Well, I
amending
think
the
I have to make a
stipulation.
motion, actually.
Because we're making the motion to approve with staff recommendations, and then,
We wanted to add our stipulation about the short term.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's what we're trying to,
Yeah. We're
I think-
having a huddle.
yeah, I think making sure that legally we're thumbs up
Yeah,
there.
that was my question.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry for the delay. Give us just a moment. Council is huddling and making sure that we are above board.
I think we should do it one at a time because I don't know that everybody necessarily agrees. Is that okay? Okay.
Okay, all right, sorry about that.
No problem.
So no, we're the discussion. So
Rather get it right.
Yeah, regarding this, so if you want to include the stipulation for the no short-term rental, is to craft it in a way where that we could review it to make sure that you're within your powers to do so, and that the city council is empowered to do so, as well as make sure that it aligns with our city code. So therefore, it would be stated as we would like to include a condition of no short-term rental that is compatible with the city's zoning code.
Short-term rental that is compatible or incompatible?
Incompatible, yeah.
So it would be, so effectively, if you want to have the stipulation is this property is not permitted to do short-term rentals, subject to being in line with the city's code and.
Turn your mic on. Oh.
Yeah. So you're going to want to just say the stipulation. If you want to say this particular property cannot have short-term rental, subject to that condition being compatible with the city's code and zoning code.
Okay. I'll try to repeat that. So I move that we amend the motion on the floor to add an additional condition that there be no short-term rental uses here, subject to this condition being compatible with the city code and the city's zoning code.
Okay. So we'll add that.
So you need a second. And then we need to vote.
Oh, okay. So we have that motion raised for that verbiage for the short-term rental being added to staff recommendations. Do we have a second to approve that additional?
I second.
All right, second from Commissioner Davis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Now, still open for discussion. Oh, I'm sorry. Any opposed, excuse me, say nay. No opposition, the ayes have it. Still open for discussion. Were there any other stipulations or recommendations to be included?
Yes.
Okay, so I know I'll kick it off. I know we mentioned the garage being used as an additional living space. I think the applicant mentioned before, he used the example, let me say it that way, of the garage, like someone using the garage as a workout room, and that doesn't necessarily constitute a living space. What we're speaking about is someone using the garage or turning the garage into an apartment, an additional, like a true living space. And again, that's keeping with the existing compatibility with the community. So I would like to put forth a motion to include that additional stipulation with that language to specifically say that the garage cannot be used as an additional living space. And I think staff recommendations also gently kind of gloss over that, but we want to make sure that we have that explicit language in there. So we'll put forth, I'll raise that motion to include that language in there. So the motion was raised by me, Commissioner Philpott. Do we have a second for
I'll
that?
second.
Second for Commissioner Jeanette Hardy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Any additional stipulations or recommendations?
I have one, and that is that there be three canopy trees for each unit planted prior to the issuance of the certificate of occupancy.
You said 3 canopy trees?
3 canopy trees per unit. This is a nearly half-acre lot, so
Okay.
there's a lot of room.
Is there a specific location? We'll
No.
say that. Okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if you were meaning like on the side or whatever. Okay. So we have, excuse me, have a recommendation to include 3 canopy trees per lot. Per unit, 3 canopy trees per unit, so that would basically be 6 canopy trees with no specific location. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. No opposition. The ayes have it. Okay. Any additional recommendations, stipulations outside of what's already been approved along with staff recommendation? No? Okay. All right. So now that we have all of the stipulations and recommendations on the table, and I'll consult with Mr. Wheeler and legal. Can you guys hear me? So now that we've gone through the additional stipulations to add on top of staff recommendation, do we need to take a final motion for approval with all?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to double check, make sure that we were in line. All right. So now that we've cleared that, now can we get a motion to approve with staff recommendation in addition to the edited or the additional or amended stipulations on top
I
of?
just want to double check. I think,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Healing, the original motion still stands and has been seconded. We just amended it, so we're voting on my original motion, correct?
Yeah, so if you had a motion on the floor and then someone made a motion to amend or add additional amendments to that motion, yeah.
So we now need to vote on my original motion to recommend approval with the amended
Yes.
stipulation. Okay, so
Yes.
we're just at the voting point.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just thinking-
Yeah, that's what I was saying. A motion to approve with staff recommendation in addition to the amended stipulations. Okay, so we don't need a okay, so then great. We can just take the vote. So all in favor of the recommendation to approve with all stipulations and recommendations, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. All right, the ayes have it. So REZ 2025-004 has been recommended for approval.
We missed the sidewalks in lieu of.
Oh, shoot.
No, that was in mine.
That was in yours? Okay, cool, okay. Okay.
Yeah. We have to have a stenographer. All right. So with that, that concludes new business. And again, we'll say to the applicant.
Sorry. When you said REZ 02025, you said 004. Is it
I thought I said 5. I'm sorry. REZ 2025-005 has been recommended for approval, and it will go to City Council for final call. So with that, we will move out. There's no more new business. And before we do that, we want to thank the applicant for the presentation. Again, this is nothing personal against you or anything like that. The recommendations are for the property. So whether or not you own it or Joe Blow down the street owns it, we want to make sure that it is cohesive with the community. So again, it carries to City Council next. So with that, we'll go to item number 6, which is work session discussion, which we in the last meeting or last hearing, I think we agreed on dates.
Yes.
But we did not come to a consensus on time.
Yes, and specifically the work session, because again, as we mentioned earlier, that the work session, which is a week before the actual planning commission, I have it scheduled for 4 p.m. Again, was trying to get a consensus of 4 p.m. Will 4 p.m. work for everyone? Because at this point in time, staff is unable to do another night meeting, and so therefore 4 p.m. is the only time we could probably fit it in, and we thought it would be reasonable for you guys to be able to make time, and then for staff to make time as well too.
Okay. I'm just trying to think here. And open for discussion while I think.
Can I ask a question? Just so you can confirm, would this meeting, work session happen in this same location?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would be, so we were included in the same location, different time. We were advertising as well as the planning commission and city council meeting as well too.
And refresh my memory, what day of the week are we talking about?
We're doing the Thursday before.
Thursday before, okay.
Yeah, Thursday before, yeah. The idea was to be consistent with the time for the public to know exactly where to show up, and then for you guys to know, hey, we're going to be here at this point in time until otherwise. So.
And I know there's been some discussion via email and other conversation about the ability to attend a work session virtually.
Yes.
Can you clarify that?
Yeah. So speaking to Attorney Mr. Hewitt, he was saying you all have a chance to attend a work session virtually. I think twice, I believe.
Two times without an excuse.
Yes. Yeah. So in case, so basically, so we're still going to meet in person. However, you're unavailable to meet in person. You do have those 2 times to do virtually without excuse and so forth at this point in time.
But we have to have a quorum present.
Yes, ma'am.
For somebody to be virtual.
Yeah, an in-person quorum is required, and then others can be virtual only twice. And then if it's more than that, it has to be a medical, excuse or something that's documented like that. The intent is to be in person, so.
Right, okay.
Without.
Just to kind of throw it out there as well too. So just a few things that we talked about last time. Well, not last time, but there was mentioned in emails. Staff is including a date as far as posting as well for the next applications. So after we have our meetings here, Friday will be like tomorrow. We will go ahead and post the next month's zoning items already on the civic clerk for everybody to download, and then as well as we do have some existing dates for community meetings for that to make the applicant aware of as well too.
Okay.
While we're on the subject of calendar, and you mentioned next meeting, I did want to make sure we pointed out that the next meeting is the second Thursday because of New Year's in January.
Yes.
So
Yes.
just for the record.
Yes. So the next one is January 8th.
I am agreeable to the 4 o'clock time frame as well on the Thursday before.
I don't think we have much of an option, given the fact that staff is not available.
Honestly, at this point in time, yeah, because of all the dates and all the times that we're juggling. I mean, this is probably the only time that we could probably do a work session, as well as still have enough time to address and handle all the other things. As you probably saw at the last meeting, where we have a litany of dates that we have to meet, and so it becomes really convoluted when juggling those dates and then trying to find spaces and time for all that. And so this is probably the most optimum time and location and day for us to actually have that, as well as make sure that we have staff reports ready available for reviewing, and then we'll be able to try to answer questions for you as well too. So.
Okay. So do we need to take a vote?
Yes, please do. Yes, because again, this is another official meeting date that we are going to. Again, Latima has already worked on getting this look nice and pretty, so we can have it posted somewhere on the city's page or somewhere on Civic Clerk that says these are our official dates, and so you can download them and you can kind of plan out your year for 2026.
Just for another point of clarification. At this time, we're looking at doing this prior to the February meeting because we would not want to try and figure out a time to do it during the holidays. So we would you have it on here as the January 29th would be the first work session.
Yeah, I have it
prior
on
to
there.
the February meeting rather than trying to fit one into December.
Yeah. We can
Okay.
let everybody know that it'll be canceled, but it was more of just
Okay.
knocking stuff out. So
Gotcha. Thank you for that, Commissioner Valenzuela. Okay. So can we get a motion to approve the 4 p.m. time for work sessions for the calendar year 2026?
Maybe we need a motion to approve the calendar in total as presented by the staff with the work session time at 4 o'clock.
Just as a question, did we approve the calendar, just the dates only last time?
no, you actually did. You
Okay.
agreed, but you agreed in principle, but didn't make an emotion. or
Gotcha,
anything.
okay. I just couldn't remember that. Okay, so then let's take a motion to approve the full work session calendar for 2026, dates and time included, dates and 4 p.m. Start time included.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the work session calendar
And regular scheduled calendar.
and the regular schedule calendar and the 4 o'clock time for the work session.
All right, so we have a motion raised by Commissioner Jeanette Hardy. Do we have a second? All right, we have a second from Commissioner Cheryl Davis. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Work session, or excuse me, Planning Commission calendar for 2026 has been approved. Thank you. So with that, we will. That concludes everything on the agenda. So now can we get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
All right. So we have a motion from Commissioner Valenzuela. Can we have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is kind of a thing I like to do every year, especially when we get to December. First off, I want to say thank you for your time and effort into doing
yes.
this again as well. Again, this is the last the Planning Commission meeting for the year. Again, I want to first of all thank you. I appreciate you working with us with the new city, especially with our ups and downs as we go through this transition of getting better at this. Want to say thank you for working with me, being patient with me. Again, try as we get as we go along through this roller coaster of a new city. But again, I just also want to say thank you because, again, as Mr. Philpott would like to say, you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here right now. And so, again, want to say thank you. And we appreciate it and that your effort to do this does not go unnoticed. I want to say thank you personally.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And from planning commissioners, we will say thank you to you. Thank you to all staff and legal and AV. You guys have been great. We've had some bumps and bruises along the way, but there is no progress without pain. So thank you guys for all that you have done. Thank you for being patient with us. I think we are learning as we go. So we are trial by fire. So we appreciate all of you guys' effort. And from us to you, it definitely does not go unnoticed. So thank you guys. And with that, we had a motion. Did we get a motion to adjourn?
Yes, we did. Yep.
Okay, who raised the motion? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Carl did.
Oh, Commissioner Valenzuela, okay, and then second?
I'll second.
All right, Commissioner Jeanette Hardy with the second. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it. This meeting is adjourned.